Hello viewers, Joe's HVAC Fishing and Rail Fan Productions, bringing you a rail restoration production tonight. As you can see right here, we've got my 1930s Delaware, Lackawanna, and Western rail. Found this piece the other day, got it to the freight depot yesterday, and we got it transported home, and we are going to do the restoration tonight. It may be 30 some degrees outside, but it ain't going to stop us from getting this beauty into its former glory. And we got the little space heater going to try to help keep things warm a little bit. And I've got it on the lower setting because we've obviously got the orbital sander right here, which we're going to be using tonight. So our tools are orbital sander, because we're not polishing the head on this rail. We're going to leave it natural, and we're going to restore the rest of the rail. So here we go. We're going to start off with the sanding procedure. Alright, so you guys can see there's a big improvement already. We had just sanded this part right here, and it looks a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and get this part one last time. Alright, so you guys can see there, that looks pretty good. So you can see it took practically all the rust off that rail, off that part of the rail in one go. That's the nice thing about these orbital sanders. They really get the job done. So now we're going to go ahead and flip the rail here. Just like this. And we're going to bring it a little closer towards the edge here. This one looks like it was recently taken out of service. So we're going to go ahead and do that again. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Let's go over here one last time. So actually, guys, we're not going to say we aren't going to polish it. We're going to leave that at uncertain until we can get everything figured out for this one. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and turn the rail so it's on its head, as you can see, just like this. And now we're going to do the exact same thing while we're working on the base this time. Okay, so as you guys can see, that was relatively easy to do. We got almost the entire web of the rail done. So for the rest of the procedure, but first, before we get into that, we're going to show you just exactly how we like to do the ends of the rails. So we're going to bring the piece like this, and we're going to bring it so the rail is vertical. And what we're going to do is we're going to sand the end until it's clean. Alright, we got the main end done. That's the original joint factory end. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. This is the cut end, by the way. Alright, so just to give you guys an idea how much use this rail has had, I'm gonna bring it back onto its base here so you can see how floated it is from the amount of use it's had. So we're gonna show you that real quick here. Alright, so we'll hold it like this. There it is. There's the flowing right there on the end of that rail. So now that we have finished the main portion of the procedure, which was getting the entire base done, now we're going to go ahead. We're going to go grab the mouse sander to get at our smaller edges including the date, and we'll reveal to you who rolled the rail. Alright, see I got my mouse sander right here on hand. So what we're going to do is I'm going to change the sandpaper real quick. Alright, so I went ahead and changed the sandpaper, just something pretty coarse, because we need something of pretty coarse grit in order to handle, this rail's rust level. We went ahead and grabbed some 60 grit for the sander here. Great. Gotta love these tamper-resistant receptacles. Makes it almost impossible to plug your shit in. There we go, I'm plugged in. So we're going to go ahead here and we're going to put our rail. So you guys can see here. Now we're going to do this part right here. We're going to try to get in the head if possible, and we're going to try to see what the writing, the imprints are on this rail. So we're going to go ahead and start off on here, since it's the easiest, and there's a mushroom. Wow, what a lot of rust! I've never seen this much rust on a rail before. This thing had to be buried in the ground for 20 or 30 years. Wow! Look at that. That's insane. This is even rustier than the LV rails. Wow! Holy moly! Wow! Holy cow, is this thing rusty! Man! Unbelievable! This thing is dirty! Whoa! Guys, I think I just revealed an imprint on the rail. Wow! Whoa! All right, guys, I just found a date. Well, not a date, but I just found some information here. All right, guys, let's see what it says. All right, guys, so we found out it says OH, that's open hearth, BSCO. So that means it was the Bethlehem Steel Company, Lackawanna. All right. So the Lackawanna subsidiary of Bethlehem Steel rolled this rail, and the year is unknown. There you go. We found an imprint on the rail. So maybe after the restoration, we'll show you guys. So we're not gonna show the other side, 'cause there's nothing on it. It's just the same thing as what we're doing now. So we're just gonna pause you guys until we're done. All right, so you guys can see we're now in my workshop. We are now gonna bring the rail up here, and well, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a quick warm up with the space heater, just to ensure proper painting temperatures are achieved. But first, we're going to knock the rust off it. So you guys can see why I like to do that. I always like to knock the rust off before we paint it, because that way if there's rust still on the rail, us tapping it on the ground will ensure that the rail. So first thing we're going to do is, just to be on the safe side, we're going to give it a quick wipe down with paper towels, just to ensure that the rust is off the rail. Last thing you want to do is go to paint your rail and still have a lot of rust on it. So we're going to try to minimize rust contact here on the rail. Just going to give it a quick wipe. Just going to ensure that the rust is off to the area of application. And this will help to ensure that the rail properly dries. And we have already revealed what was imprinted on it. So now we're going to go ahead and grab my black paint, which I have right here. This is my Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch that I like to use on my restoration projects, especially ones like this where it's the DL&W. So we're going to start off. We're going to start off by painting the base. So we're going to tilt this. We're going to turn the stool a little bit so you can see it. You see, we're going to go ahead and start applying our black. just like this, and show you guys what it looks like. So you guys can see there's already a big difference in color. It went from a rustic brown to DL&W black. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here on the whole rail. So now now we've done that part, we can leave the rail on here, and I can just do this. And we're going to go to our next part of the procedure. We're now going to paint this part. So we're going to come around the other side here. So you guys can see what I'm ensuring on this rail is that we properly coat it with paint. Because improper coating is going to lead to a not so nice looking rail. I'll show you guys the nice part about painting the head of the rail. Now we're not going to paint the head surface, but we're going to paint the side, which we're going to show you that right now. Because we want to ensure that the rail gets a proper treatment. Alright, so we're going to turn so you guys can see it. You see, we are trying not to make contact with the freshly painted surface. Now you can see I missed a spot, so I'm going to go get that. Check anywhere else. Nice thing about my lights, that my light that I have set up here, is that way if I miss a spot or something, I can easily go back and I can see if I missed anywhere. You see here now we're going to... Oh, nah, I just scratched it. There you go. See, I missed a spot there, too. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to come around, and we're going to go ahead and do the head. And I do not mean the actual head surface, because we have not decided if we're going to polish that or if we're going to leave it natural. It's going to be kind of a tough choice to make. And you guys can see how the flowing mushroom actually protects the head from accidental paint splatter. Alright, so I got that. Now it's obviously okay if a little bit gets on. As long as you can see like the natural railhead surface, that's completely okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and paint the end as well. Ah, shit, I just sprayed the head, so it looks like we're going to have to polish it. Although it's only a little bit, I guess it's not that much of a difference. As long as the rest of the natural part is showing how much rust is actually on it, then that's suffice. Now we're just going to check to ensure that we didn't miss anywhere. So guys, this rail already has the Lackawanna on it, so we're not going to worry about treatment with the stencil because the rail already has Lackawanna imprinted on it. Make sure you get that nice and thick. Because when you do these kinds of projects, you want to make sure you have nice thick coatings of paint. Because if you don't put enough paint on it, and by the time it's done, it ain't going to look right. So we ensured proper actions were taken. So as you guys can see, this is the priming procedure for this rail. You guys can see it is primed. And I'll show you guys where we're going to put it in order to dry. And because we've got our high velocity fan and the space heater working together, we're going to take the rail over there. So we're going to show you guys that right now. So you guys can see right over there where we're going to put it. So what we're going to do is we're going to carefully move the stool with the rail on it. And we're gonna set it up for dry. See, I have to be super careful when I'm doing this because you never know if there's going to be an accident. So we're being extremely cautious and very careful when moving a piece of history like this that's been freshly painted. And you guys can see I'm also keeping it low to the ground. And I'm moving it in small intervals to ensure not only that my back doesn't get hurt, but at the same time the rail gets safely moved to its drying spot where we're going to put it to dry. All right. All right. So guys, we're gonna do a part 2 to this video when we do the actual final second coating and when we declare the product restored. Anyway, while I'm at it, I'm gonna give you guys some quick tips here when you're doing rail restoration. So earlier in the video, you guys saw I had my space heater out there to ensure that the rail stayed at a proper temperature during the procedure of initial sanding. And also I did bring the fan out, but then I realized it was too cold to be running the fan at the same time, because then it's practically defeating the purpose of the heater, which was to keep the rail at an optimal temperature. So yes, that is my shop heater, by the way. A little fan force, but it's doing a pretty good job keeping the shop warm. And also another tip too, as you guys saw when I was priming the rail on that side we were working on this evening. So when we come down later, we'll explain this a little bit more. But just to give you guys an initial idea of what I just did, is we primed the rail, and as you guys saw, I have my overhead painting light. And I put that in strictly for when I'm painting. And also to have extra light in the shop when needed. But as you guys saw, the light showed me where the rail still hadn't had paint on it. And so we were able to fix that. And now as you can see, the rail's got its first coat of paint. And it's over there drying right now. And it only took probably maybe about 20 minutes to get that entire sanding procedure done. It took about 20 minutes. And that's usually and usually it takes me a little longer on some bigger pieces. So what we're going to do now, oh, we didn't get the laptop too dirty. Alright. So we're going to show you guys what I'm talking about when I say bigger pieces of rail, and that's going to take me longer. So as you guys can see, this is my big LV rail right here. This one is 4 feet 3 1/4 inches long, and we're going to do a complete restoration on it. So on Painted Horse and I have our next meetup, and that'll be the first time we'll be featuring him on my channel. He'll be able to assist with his first ever rail restoration project, where we work together to restore my 174 pound. This is my 174 pound 136 LV rail, because the rail's length is 4 feet 3 1/4 inches. So it's the largest rail I've ever had in my collection. So just to give you an idea just how big it is. I can't even fit it on the screen. There it is right there. And then here's what we were just working on. As you can see, it's in primer. It's currently drying. So when it's dry, we're going to come down here again for part 2 of the video, where we coat the other side. So then that's when we're going to stand the rail up, since we only need one coat on the bottom. And then we're going to do the final painting procedure, where we show you the finished product. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for joining me for this DL&W rail restoration procedure. This is part 1 of the video, which is the sanding procedure and the priming. So if you guys want to see more videos like this, or if you guys want to see me actively collecting the beauties for my collection, just leave me some comments down below. So before we close out the video, guys, and I'm also going to put the timestamp too, if you guys, whether or not you guys want to see me out there collecting my beautiful pieces. So guys, put in the comments below, what do you guys want to see me collecting my beauties? And if you guys want to, just put yes in the comments below. And if you guys just want to see the restoration procedures as we do it, then just say no thanks. And I'm also going to put it in my community. We're going to put it as a poll. So if you guys can take a vote on that. So anyway, guys, before I go real quick, let's show you my shop heater that I got. It's practically like my bedroom one. And I got the high velocity fan working with it. I got it working with the high velocity fan because of how big the space is, and that we need like turbo heat. So I put the high velocity fan behind it to give it more air to breathe, and it's keeping the shop nice and warm, and I'm quite happy about that. So anyway, that's a little trick for those of you who have not known how to use a high velocity fan to boost your space heater's performance in a big shop like this. So anyway, the weather wheel just sits cold until we get another warm day. We can operate it. So weather wheel will sit cold until Thursday, when we're going to fire it up again. So anyway, I want to thank you guys very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want to see these being restored, then hop along with us on our next adventure of another historical restoration. Which our next restoration, so I'm going to give you guys a little news flash here. I went and did a lot of cleaning. See, that's all my stuff I got to do right there in that box. That is my unfinished box. So that's a lot of stuff I have to restore. And then right here is stuff that needs to be painted. So, I don't keep saying before we go, but we're going to show you guys my workstations that I have set up here. So, right here, this is my drying station right here. So any like small pieces of rail or even tie plates, usually I just use this for small pieces of rail. I use that to dry them, and that's where they sit to dry, as you can see from our purple ones we did. And then that one right there is just sitting. That's our drying station. And then for big pieces of rail that are over 100 pounds, this is where I polish them. And plus this will also be an added drying station for larger pieces of rail that require a space heater in order, to get it up to warmth after sanding, if it's cold outside like it is. So then this is where we keep all my unfinished stuff that's awaiting restoration. This is my finishing, this is my ready to paint table. So anything that needs to be painted or is not done yet, I just put it here. And that's how I know it needs to get done. So guys, when I'm down here again, I'm doing an actual tour. We're going to give you guys an actual tour of my workstations and everything for rail restoration. So maybe we'll do a part 3 to the DL&W rail, or actually we'll do a bonus video for you guys after I finish the restoration procedure on the DL&W rail. I'm going to give you guys a full tour, and we'll show you guys some of my stuff I got too. But anyway, we'll see you guys for the part 2 of this video, which is going to be the finishing of the rail. So that means the rail will be receiving its final coatings of paint. It's going to look spectacular when it's done. So yeah, we're not going to show the other priming part since it's just the same thing. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you for joining me for this DL&W adventure. Just to give you a little bit of information about this one, I found it the other day. Somebody literally left it right in my path, and I tripped over it. I was like, who left this in my path? And I was like, wait a minute. They left me something good. And I was like, you know what? Since they made me trip over it, I'm going to restore it. And so that is our beauty right there. It's a piece of history from the DL&W. Now, the cool thing about this rail, by the way, is it's still got the old DL&W wiring method, just like you'll see on the Bloomsburg branch. Because eventually we're going to be doing videos down there. We're going to do some rail fanning, try to catch the SBPI. We'll give you some history on the Bloom. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that as well. So before we close out the video, I'm going to give you a little foreshadowing here. So part 2 of the video is where we apply the final coat to the rail. So that's where it's going to receive its final coating of paint and then we have to let it dry, and then it'll go up on display. And then after that, we're going to give you guys a tour of all my workstations that I have here in my workshop. So it's just like my finishing table where stuff needs to be finished. My unfinished box where we keep all my unfinished stuff that needs to be restored. And then my little drying station for rails. And then my polishing station, which is not in use right now. And we'll show you guys. So I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to answer. So guys, I'm going to ask you guys here again. I'll put this timestamp at 40:08. Do you guys want to see what I'm looking for and me actually collecting it for restoration? If you guys want to see that where we're out and about, please feel free. So if you want to see that, put yes. I want to see you out there collecting your beautiful pieces of rail. Or if you're not interested, just say no thanks. And then we'll just show us doing the restoration procedure if it happens to be something like historical or of great significant importance to me, or anything that I find highly valuable worth showing restoration. Then feel free to just follow along with us as we do the work. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care, everyone. Peace out.